Okay, this is going to be the second part of 2.7. Now these are the examples I'm going to go over. So the first directions say simplify the expressions. Here's the first one, 4x minus 2y plus 6 plus 7y. So I'm not going to be making parentheses because I don't have any numbers that could go in for the letters. They didn't give me any. They didn't say off to the side x equals 3, y equals 4, and all that stuff. Okay. So no multiplication dots. Now minus. Okay. I have a minus right here with the 2, so that's plus negative 2. Now order of operations. Well, there's no parentheses. There's no multiplication, there's no division, it's only adding. That's the case for all these. Now here's what I would recommend. Give me one of the letters you see x, go blank x, and then write plus. Give me another letter you have y, blank y, and that's all the letters, but then I make a blank, that's for numbers without letters. And this is my answer, I just got to put the numbers that go in place. So x, here's x, it is a 4x, and that's it. So I put 4. Here's y, well I have a negative 2y and a 7y. Negative, and we add those, okay? Negative 2 plus 7. So negative 2 plus 7 is 5. You have to add, if you have 2 of them, you plus them, and then 6. Then 6 fills out the expression. That's the answer. You can't add these because that's multiplied by x, by y, and by nothing. Okay, next one. Negative 8x plus 4 plus 6. Now there's no minuses, okay, so I go straight into my adding. So I've got x, that's the only letter I have, and this blank is for numbers without x's. So the only x I have is negative 8. Okay, numbers without letters, 4 and 10, okay? You add those, you plus them. 4 plus 10, 6 is 10. Negative 8x plus 10 is the answer to that problem. You don't add them, that's because that's times x, that's not. Okay, 4p minus 10m plus 7 plus 2m. Okay, give me a letter, I don't care which one. You can go p, then m. That doesn't have a letter, and then another M, okay? So P, and by the way, that minus 10 is plus negative 10. That's a negative 10. I got to remember that that's a negative 10. So P, there's the only place I see a P. It has a 4 coefficient, so 4. Then M, I have M here and here. That's an M right there. Since I have 2 of them, I plus the coefficients, negative 10 plus 2. It's not 10 plus 2, it's negative 10 plus 2. You'd start at negative 10 and move forward 2. It's negative 8. Numbers that don't even have a letter, just a 7. Okay, next problem. Negative 17x plus 14y plus 3y plus 8 plus 4y, so I don't have any minuses, okay, that's a negative right there. So I got a letter x, a letter y, another letter y, which I've already made a space for. That doesn't have a letter, and then another letter y. So for x, well, this is the only place I have an x, so I have negative 17. Y, I have y, 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 14, positive 14, positive 3, positive 4. You need to add all 3 of those, plus them all. 14 plus 3 plus 4. 21. Then 8. Next page. Negative 3b plus 9 plus 12b minus 24. I don't like the minus, so plus negative. So I've got b. and that's the only letter I have, then I have numbers without B. So B, there's two B's, negative 3, positive 12. So I would take negative 3 plus 12, I plus those together. So negative 3 plus 12 is 9. Negative 3 on a number line going forward, 12 is 9. Takes care of the B's. Numbers without any letter at all, we got 9 and negative 24. So I add those. It's going to be negative 15. Okay, next problem. Negative 4p plus 9 plus 6p minus 18. Okay, I got a minus right there, plus negative. P is a letter, and P is the only letter. But then I've got numbers that don't have any letters, any P's. So P's, I have two P's, negative 4 and 6. We combine them by adding the coefficients. Negative 4 plus 6, that equals 2, so it's 2p. Numbers without letters, we have 9 and negative 18, so 9 plus negative 18 equals negative 9. 2p plus negative 9. Negative 8x plus 5y plus 2x minus 5y plus 9. I have a minus there with the 5, so it's plus negative. Okay, so we're talking x's, we're talking y's, so x. I've also got the letter y, and I've got a number without a letter. So x's, negative 8, positive 2. It's not just 8 plus 2, it's negative 8 forward 2. So if you're at negative 8 on a number line, you go negative 7, negative 6. So it would be negative 6. Okay, the y's, we have two of those as well. Positive 5, negative 5. So again, I add the coefficients. 5 plus negative 5 is actually 0. So you can put a 0 in and leave it, or you can just take that out. Okay, along with the plus. If you want to put 0, do it. Okay. Then the y's are gone. Now the only number that doesn't have a variable is 9. That's called a constant. Okay, so that's your answer, negative 6x plus 9. Okay, last one of these, negative 4c plus 6 plus 10c minus 16. Okay, I have a minus on the 16. It's a negative 16 now, plus negative. Okay, the only letter I have is a C, and then this blank space is for numbers without letters. So C. To find what goes there, I need to add negative 4 plus 10. And negative 4 plus 10 is 6, 6c. Okay, numbers without C's at all, we have a 6 and a negative 16. 6 plus negative 16 is negative 10. So 6C plus negative 10 is the answer to that problem. Okay, now I'm going to have you do work a couple word problems that were in a previous assignment. I've taught this before. I have $400 in my bank account. My account will be going up by $20 per week. At this rate, how much money will I have in 6 weeks? So I'm finding how much money I have. But the money is dependent upon the weeks. Okay, that is why I'm making these boxes, so I can actually write an equation. And there'll be an XY table here. Box, box, box. Start in this box. Write your 2 units in the bold, dollars and weeks. Which one of those is time? Time is always equal to X. Well, weeks measures time, so that's X, dollars is Y. Then I write the word per. I put the Y label on top, the X label on bottom, but I don't write the S, dollars per week. Now the dollars per week is $20, 20 times X, up 20 per week, so it's the 20 just remains positive, okay? Then I go to my table. Please label the X and Y in your table. X is weeks, and Y is dollars. So under the X, we always start with 0, 1, 2. Not 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2. So before $20 per week, you paid $400. Then you start adding 20 every week. That's what $20 per week means. So plus 20 is 420. Plus 20 is 440. Then I can stop. Then I make the ladder. We started with 400, okay? And put equals y at the top on every ladder. So y starts at 400. Then I'm adding 20 over and over every time there's a week. So plus 20 times x, because x is weeks. So that's your equation. 400 plus 20 times x equals y. Now I'm going to solve the problem. 6 weeks goes in the x column. Weeks is x. So that means in the equation x equals 6. So I'm going to parenthesize the x and place a 6 in there. So 400 plus 20 parentheses times parentheses 6 equals y. And now I have a plus and a times. I do the times first. 20 times 6 is 120. So you have 400 plus 120. Then 500 plus 120 is 520. So he's going to have $520 after 6 weeks. Okay, last problem in this video. A temperature at noon was 90 degrees. It goes down by 3 degrees per hour. What will the temperature be 4 hours after noon? So degrees. The degrees is dependent on how many hours have passed. So we want to make a equation out of it. A table, XY table. Now, before we do the table, we have to know what x and y are. So you have two words, degrees and hours. The time is my x, so x is degrees, y is hours. Then per, put your y label on top, degrees. Put your x label on bottom, but just drop the s off. Means how many degrees every single hour. It's going down by 3 degrees, so 3 times x, but since it's going down, we have to make sure our 3 is negative. So x is hours, y is degrees. So 0, 1, 2. Now the degrees start at 90, okay? And they go down 3 every hour, so I'm going to be adding not 3, negative 3. It's going down. So 90 plus negative 3 is 87. Then I add negative 3 for the next hour, that's 84, and that goes on. Okay, so my ladder, put equals y at the top. Y starts with a 90, then we add negative 3 over and over. Every time there's an hour. Negative 3 times x. So the equation 90 plus negative 3 times x equals y. Now I'm going to solve the problem. Okay, 4 hours. I would put 4 in the x unit column. X equals 4. So I parenthesize the x, and I'll be putting a 4 in there. So 90 plus negative 3 times 4. So we do our dot first. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. Okay. So we have 90 plus negative 12 equals y. Then I just figure out what 90 plus negative 12 is. 78. 78 degrees.